There are 3 mistakes a lot of people are making in conversations unknowingly. And if you're somebody that finds that people don't listen to you very well, or they get bored when they talk to you or when they listen to you, then you probably are making at least one of these mistakes yourself. So what are the most common mistakes that people make in conversations? How can you avoid them? How do I know anything about it? By the end of the video, you'll know exactly the answers to these questions so that you're prepared to then actually change your communication style in the way that you want to and avoid boring people or turning people off when you talk to them and actually get what you want. So to illustrate the first point, I have to tell you a quick story. I have an acquaintance who, when he speaks at length. You ask him a simple question and he will not just answer the question, he will answer it in 3 different ways, with a lot of extraneous words. In other words, you just get this wall of words coming back at you. So if you actually want him to stop talking, you always have to cut him off at some point or jump in and say, okay, is this what you're actually saying? Right, okay. So you always have to manage him in a way that he speaks. What my acquaintance is not, is being succinct. And being succinct is a key skill that you need to master if you want to be better at conversations, communication, also, public speaking and things like that. In order to be succinct, you want to say what you want to say in the fewest amounts of words necessary, at the right speed so that it clearly is communicated, and with clarity. Now, sounds a lot easier to say than do, but you can practice this in your everyday interactions with people. Literally just cut any extraneous noises, sounds, and so forth. And when we talk about noises, that brings me to the second point, actually. Because have you ever heard somebody speak, with a lot of sort of like filler words and, stuff that just makes noises while they're talking to you? And have you noticed how engaging that can be? Not really, right? So the second thing you really want to cut is filler words and noises. It makes you come across as somebody that doesn't really know what they're saying, but you're just waffling along. Nobody likes a waffler. Key strategy number 2 is to cut filler words. Again, you can practice this in your everyday situations with any person that you meet, with friends, with shop assistants, anybody. My favorite trick to get rid of this habit of filler words or ums and ahs is to get a rubber band. I don't have one on me right now, but have the rubber band. Every time you notice yourself doing it, you give yourself a short, sharp pain by snapping the rubber band on your arm, and then you rephrase it without the filler word. And if you don't want to rephrase it because you're in public, you can still give yourself the short, sharp pain, and over time it will create a pattern interrupt, and you will notice that you don't use the filler words anymore because you associate them with pain. Works very well. The third big mistake that people make in conversations is a result of a misconception about communication, I believe. And this misconception about communication is that a conversation is exchange of information. I don't agree. That's just one level of a conversation. The far more important levels and the far more interesting levels are how you affect the other person, how you make them feel. And because we don't consciously focus on that at all very often, unless we really have to, unless, for example, you're trying to keep a child from walking across the street when there's a lorry coming and you shout at them and you have a real impact on them. Somebody holds you at gunpoint, you're pleading for your life. Yes, you want to reach them. So you will communicate with a certain impact. You won't just be waffling on and you won't just be saying, hey, yeah, no, I quite like to live. No, you'll be like, please let me live, right? All of a sudden, you have the intensity. But in real life, most people still think it's just about exchanging information. And that's what they sound like. Very monotonous. Everything sounds the same, low energy, and with very little direction in terms of what we're actually trying to achieve. See, to me, words are just a means. Words are a means to an end. So is your body language. It's a means to an end. So is your voice tone. It's a means to an end. What is that end? I guess is the question. That end is to get the other person to do something. Like what? It could be something as simple as to smile, or to take a certain action, to press a button on your website, or to say hi back, or to like you, or to run off and do what you want them to do instantly. Once you realize that, you're probably wondering, yeah, okay, I've never really thought about this. I've always just talked, but I haven't really been conscious about it. Won't it make me feel self-conscious? Anything that you discover about yourself or about communication for a time may make you feel self-aware. And that's really important. It may feel like self-consciousness, but actually, you need to become aware first of what your impact is in order to actually become great at having the impact that you want. We're all having an impact, but it's often not the impact that we actually want to have. So to help you further with this, I want to give you something that I learned in drama school that is one of the simplest systems that you can use in order to continuously be impactful with the people that you talk to. And I want to give this to you in a way that I wish I had got this when I was in drama school, as a cheat sheet. So you get the shortcuts to being impactful and influential with people. This is the Psychological Impact Actions cheat sheet that you can download right now on my website for free. I would recommend you print it out, you put it somewhere where you can recognize it every day, and you use one of these psychological action verbs as a way to focus on what you want another person to do. When you use these psychological action verbs, people will feel your impact on them, which is what you want. You get very specific about what you can do to somebody else. For example, if I wanted to challenge you, I would talk to you like this, and it would change the way I communicate with you, right? It sounds different from before. If I wanted to intrigue you, it would sound maybe a little bit more like this. Now, without having thought about these tools, I would probably not do it effectively. If you haven't got this cheat sheet yet, then check it out here. It's a free download right now. And if you have got it already and you're already on my email newsletter, then check out this related next video. It's going to help you further.